From cliff paths with nothing under your feet to trains slicing through neighborhoods inches from disaster, these places aren't adventures, they're warnings. Get ready. This journey will change how you think about safe. You're about to see 9 impossible places so dangerous, one mistake can mean there's no rescue. And even experts say you should never face them alone. Bjung village, Nepal. Hidden on steep Himalayan slopes, the Gurung live beside cliffs that vanish into cold mist. Twice a year, this quiet place becomes a battleground, because the honey they hunt isn't just rare, it can trigger hallucinations, poisoning, and death. Before sunrise, hunters braid handmade rope ladders and drop them over the edge. No harnesses, no helmets, no rescue team waiting below. Just rock, wind, and a single line of rope that sways as you descend, while the ground shrinks into nothing. Then the bees arrive. Giant Himalayan honeybees, aggressive and relentless. Hunters burn smoke to drive them back, but every breath stings and every second drains strength. Your hands go numb, your footing slips, and on a vertical cliff, one mistake doesn't mean failure, it means silence. The reward is mad honey, laced with gray antitoxins. Take too much and your heart rhythm can break, your vision warps, and the world turns unreal. Yet it sells for hundreds of dollars per kilogram, prized for its effects. So the climb happens again and again, despite the cost. Bjung isn't a tourist attraction. It's proof that tradition can live on the edge of death. But the next place replaces bees and poison with pure emptiness. Because in Switzerland, there's a route where a single steel cable is the only thing between you and a free fall. Number 8. Daubenhorn via Ferrata, Switzerland. High above the Swiss Alps, this route doesn't feel like a hike, it feels like exposure. The wall drops away into open air, and the only path is metal rungs drilled into rock. Up here, fear isn't a feeling, it's a safety system. The route stretches for over 2 kilometers and climbs more than 1,000 vertical meters. It can take 6 to 8 hours with no easy way out. One steel cable is the line between you and the abyss, and most of the time you're moving with nothing beneath your boots but distance. Then the mountain changes. Wind gusts hit hard. Clouds swallow visibility, and temperature can drop fast enough to turn sweat into cold. Fatigue becomes the real danger, because tired hands miss grips, tired feet slip, and here a mistake doesn't mean you stop. It means you fall. At nearly 3,000 meters, even breathing feels thinner, like the mountain is quietly removing your margin for error. Daubenhorn isn't a route you finish, it's a place you survive. And next, the danger isn't a trail at all. It's a church clinging to a cliff in Ethiopia, where devotion means climbing with no ropes. Number 7. Abuna Yemata, Ethiopia. Hidden high in the Geralta Mountains, this ancient church isn't protected by walls or guards, it's protected by a cliff. From below it looks impossible. A sacred doorway carved into sandstone, clinging near 2,600 meters above sea level, where the wind feels like it's testing you. There are no stairs, no railings, no real safety system. To reach it, you climb exposed rock using narrow ledges and handholds carved into stone. In parts, the path forces you into a traverse with a deadly drop below, and the rock doesn't forgive hesitation. One slip here isn't an injury, it's the end of the journey. The final approach is the most unnerving, a section many do barefoot for grip, moving slowly while your body screams to look away from the void. Your hands search for holds, your feet feel for friction. Every step is a decision: trust the rock or freeze. And the higher you climb, the quieter everything becomes. Then you enter, and the danger suddenly turns into wonder. Inside, centuries-old frescoes cover the walls and ceiling, vivid and untouched, preserved by isolation. It feels like a reward earned through fear. But the next place doesn't hide its danger in a climb. It hangs death in plain sight, because in the Philippines, coffins are nailed high into cliffs and time is slowly pulling them down. Number 6. Train to the Clouds, Argentina. In the Andes of northern Argentina, this isn't a scenic ride. It's exposure at extreme altitude. The tracks cut through empty mountains where weather shifts fast and help is far away. And when the train reaches the famous viaduct, it feels like you're floating over a canyon. The route climbs to around 4,220 meters above sea level, higher than many alpine peaks. Up here, oxygen drops hard. Temperatures can fall below freezing, and wind never really stops. Altitude sickness isn't rare, it's expected. Even sitting still, your body is already fighting the environment. This line was built through an engineering nightmare. Bridges, tunnels, spirals, and zigzags designed to survive brutal elevation. Its most iconic moment is the La Polveria Viaduct, a steel bridge suspended high above the canyon floor. One look down and your brain starts calculating distance, not safety. From the windows, the landscape feels endless and indifferent, a reminder that in places like this, danger isn't dramatic. It's quiet. The train keeps moving because it has to. And next, the danger isn't in remote mountains at all. It's in a city street in Vietnam, where a full-size train charges through a narrow alley just inches from people's lives. Number 5. Hanoi Train Street, Vietnam. In the heart of the capital, a narrow residential alley is built directly on an active railway line. Homes and cafes sit just 30 to 50 centimeters from the tracks. It looks like a normal street until the rails start to hum and the air begins to vibrate. Several times a day, a train weighing hundreds of tons charges through at up to 40 kilometers per hour, leaving people only seconds to react. Tables get yanked back, motorbikes get shoved against walls. Even children are pulled inside doorways as steel roars past inches from their bodies. There are no barriers, just daily life pressed against raw speed. One wrong step, one distraction, one stumble, and there's no second chance. The most terrifying part is how normal it all feels 5 seconds later, like disaster never happened. But the next place is even more unsettling, because in the Philippines, the danger isn't moving fast. It's hanging above you. Ancient coffins nailed into cliffs, slowly losing their grip on time. Number 4. The Hanging Coffins of Sagada, Philippines. Hidden in the limestone cliffs of northern Luzon, wooden coffins are suspended high above the ground, nailed directly into sheer rock faces. From below, they look like they shouldn't be there at all, as if the dead were placed where gravity can't reach them. Some coffins are said to be over 2,000 years old, left by the Igorot people who believed the higher the body rested, the closer the soul would be to the spirit world. But placing them was never safe. Elders were bound into small coffins, sometimes curled into a fetal position, then hauled up vertical cliffs using ropes and wooden pegs. Time has worn the rock, and wind and rain keep eating at the cliff. From certain angles, the coffins look like they could drop at any moment, silent, weightless, and waiting. And next, the danger isn't above you. It's under your feet. Because in the United States, there's a trail so narrow it feels like walking a knife edge over a 300-meter fall. Number 3. Angel's Landing, United States. Rising above Zion Canyon in Utah, this trail doesn't feel like a hike, it feels like walking into open air. The sandstone spine narrows as you climb and the canyon drops away beneath you in every direction. Up here, the view is breathtaking because the danger is constant. At its worst, the final ridge is only about 1 to 1.5 meters wide, with sheer drop-offs of over 300 meters on both sides. The most infamous section forces you to cling to steel chains bolted into the rock, stepping forward while wind, heat, and vertigo fight your balance. Permits exist for a reason. Multiple deaths have happened here. One slip isn't a scare, it's gravity collecting. And the cruel part is how easy it is to feel confident, right before the trail reminds you who's in control. Angel's Landing turns every step into a decision you can't undo. But the next place isn't a cliff, it's a battlefield between fire and ocean, where molten lava explodes into toxic air and the ground can collapse without warning. Number 2. Hawaii, United States, where lava meets the ocean. This isn't a view, it's a collision. Molten rock pours from Kilauea at over 1,100 degrees Celsius, and the moment it hits the Pacific, the coastline turns into a live disaster zone. Beautiful, loud, and completely unforgiving. The impact is explosive. Steam erupts into towering plumes, shockwaves crack through the air, and molten fragments can launch without warning. It can look calm for a second, then violently erupt the next. Out here, the danger isn't getting too close. It's thinking you understand what close even means. Then comes the invisible threat, Lays, a toxic cloud packed with hydrochloric acid and microscopic volcanic glass. It burns lungs, eyes, and skin, and it doesn't care if you're just watching. One shift in wind and the air you're breathing turns hostile instantly, and the ground itself can betray you. As lava builds new land, unstable lava deltas form, fresh rock that looks solid but can collapse at any moment. Whole sections of coastline can break off and drop into the ocean, dragging anything on top of it down with it. No warning, no time. This is nature creating land, the same way it destroys it, without mercy. At lava's edge, the earth is still being born, and survival is never guaranteed. But the next place is worse in a different way, because in China there's a path where the only thing beneath your feet is a few wooden planks, and the rest is air. Number 1. Huashan Plank Walk, China. On Mount Hua, the trail isn't a path. It's a ledge carved into a vertical cliff. One step and the mountain drops away into clouds. From a distance, it looks unreal. Up close, it feels like the earth is daring you to keep moving. The infamous section hangs at over 2,150 meters above sea level, with vertical drops of 300 to 600 meters. The wooden planks are barely 30 centimeters wide, bolted directly into the rock face. There's no platform to rest, no room to turn around, just forward and empty air. For long stretches, hikers move sideways, pressed against the cliff, gripping a chain while their feet search for the next plank. Your only protection is a single steel cable and a carabiner. Wind gusts can hit 40 to 50 kilometers per hour, strong enough to steal balance. And fear isn't optional. It's your last warning system. Huashan doesn't just test courage, it tests control under pressure, when your body screams to stop and the cliff demands you continue. This isn't a place you conquer, it's a place you survive, and a reminder why some impossible places should never be faced alone. If these places felt unreal, the next ones are even harder to believe. In the next video, you'll see 13 impossible places that actually exist. Locations so strange and extreme they look like CGI, but they're 100% real. Click next, because Earth gets weirder from here.